Hi, welcome to The Property Educator. My name's Brad Howard. This week I'd like to look at something that's happening very much in Australia at this point in time, and we're looking at population flows. Population flows become a very crucial thing when it comes to property investing, property developing, property renovating, etc. Population flows are crucial. I'd just like to share you something that I've just picked up really got strong evidence of in the last few months. I actually went and did a trip. I'm obviously based in Perth, so I'm seeing one side of the country. So I went across and talked to real estate agents and ran seminars over in New South Wales and Sydney and in Melbourne to just get an understanding of their market as well, and talk to lots of agents to find out what's going on so we could see the differences, etc. And what we have noticed in this country for the last sort of decade is something called a two-speed economy. Now, with the two-speed economy, it's generally where one part of the country seems to be performing brilliantly and the other part of the country is performing very poorly. And we saw that with the latest mining boom, the biggest mining boom that the world has pretty much seen, but in particularly Western Australia and Perth, the capital city of Western Australia, benefited immensely from that. Massive projects of needing 30,000 workers for oil and gas projects, for iron ore projects, etc. For each project, thousands and thousands of workers. So what we saw in that last 10-year period in Perth was a massive build-up of people, where you had people moving into the state, whether that be international or interstate from other states in Australia, all coming in to capture and get a piece of that mining work because there was so much of it. Queensland, to a lesser extent, but also got a great kick from that as well, and parts of South Australia. And so those people were actually finding that they were coming from places like New South Wales, all capital being Sydney, and Melbourne, capital of Victoria. The big populations of Australia, they were losing a lot of their population because they were going to those mining states. What happened? These mining states were booming with population, so with population there was need for more houses, there were more cars, more furniture, everything. So we had a two-speed economy, where Western Australia, Queensland, South Australia were booming. New South Wales, Victoria were struggling a bit because their population wasn't increasing to the size these were growing. Even in WA, there was at one point where they believed there was 50,000 people a month. Sorry, I'll say that again. 5,000 people a month moving into the state. Over 50,000 people per year moving in and settling. That's on top of a natural growth in population from births, etc. Big growth. Lots of things needed. It's amazing now how the wheel has turned. Now what we've seen in Western Australia is, because the mining work, there's work in the fact that the mining companies are still producing iron ore, still producing gas, but you need, going from a 30,000 staff to build the project to a matter of a few hundred staff to actually run it and produce once it's all built. So the amount of staff needed drops dramatically. And the other thing is, because of the downturn in commodity prices, no more new projects are coming on. So all that population that flowed to the mining states of WA and Queensland, much of that population is now leaving, going back internationally, and a lot going back interstate. So where are those people going? Most of them are going back to New South Wales and Victoria. So therefore, what's happening in New South Wales and Victoria? We've got another two-speed economy. They are booming because of population inflow. WA, Queensland, South Australia are really struggling because of population outflow. We now live in a world where people are quite happy to pick up their family and move to where the work is, whether it be interstate, international, to keep the money flowing into their family. So it's a lot more fluid global workforce that moves around the world. So population inflow and outflow, very important in the property market. What's happened to the property market in WA? It's dropping. The values, the rental, the highest vacancy rate seen here for the last 30 years. So rents are dropping. What's happened in New South Wales and Victoria? They have had a large growth in value of property because there's a high demand and there's strong building programs. The rents have been rising because the population is filling up the property. Very interesting to watch, and you'll see this happen all over the world in regard to the populations moving from one place to the other, depending on the economies of the countries and the particular states. You may even see population inflows just in even regional towns and cities. You'll see the flow based on how the economy is performing. Very crucial part of property investing. Keep an eye on the population flows. Very important if you're looking at it like a small regional town might only have 5,000-10,000 people. Might be a great place to invest if they've got strong infrastructure, jobs, etc. that can keep the population growing. However, if it's highly reliant on one industry and that industry falters, you'll have a big population outflow. This, another thing that we've seen in Western Australia, particularly towns, mining boom towns such as Karratha in the northwest, where property prices got as high as over $1 million for a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom property. Rents over $1,000 to $2,000 a week for that property because the demand was just absolutely immense with the amount of staff and people moving in. Now that's stopped, you're seeing prices drop way back to property prices, that same price property over $1 million, now back down to around $300,000. Fetching $1,500 a week, now struggling to get $300 a week. Investing in those markets, you need to be very, very careful and really know what you're doing and understand something like population flows because they are going to impact dramatically on your property investment. So just another helpful hint there when you're property investing, keep in mind population flows. Thanks, have a great day, remember be time rich.